Hey guys, she's Claire.
And he's Enzo, and this is Too Long for a Voice Note, episode number 6. Hello.
Hello, Claire.
How are you?
I love that we always start like,
hi! Like we've never seen each other ever before.
We've been like for 4 hours talking. It's like, how are you?
How are ya?
Oh, good. Yeah,
How's
now
your week
good.
been?
It's been a bit of an intense week.
Tell Claire.
Good. Yeah. It's been okay. I just felt sick for a moment, and I had like the coronavirus scare, but I'm fine because one day I've been feeling a bit weird since last Sunday, but because it was too cold and I was outside in the park for too long. So I think it was on Tuesday. I was feeling like like temperature. I was coughing and I was feeling like a bit weak, and I was like, oh no, you got me. Fuck hell. But I was being maybe your brain right now is like
You think that anytime you get sick though,
literally
now,
but no, I'm fine. Literally next day I was getting better already, and I'm fine now, as you can see. I'm
fresh,
perfect, fresh as new. No, it's like it's just because it's really cold, and on
it's
winter
really
time
cold.
always like.
You don't do well.
No.
It's got really icy cold recently.
It's really, really cold. But no, I'm fine now. So that was the peak of my week or the lowest point, depends on how you see it. But it's been okay. I went to the office as well to work one day, which it was okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's been all good. Thinking about my birthday that it's coming next week.
Yeah, your birthday. It comes around quickly, doesn't it?
Really quick. Yeah, it's like next week. It's gonna be like half December already. It's like when I always feel like December just goes like this. It's so quick. So well, this week the lockdown it's over in London, so it's lifted. Yeah, so we're like a bit more free, let's say.
It's a bit much though. I went into Central today. I actually got my hair cut. Did you notice? I feel so much better for it. Like
our audio listeners, because now we have audio listeners.
Yeah, exactly. Smooth plug. Smooth plug. Yeah, we're now on all the audio streaming services. So
check out Spotify, Anchor,
wherever you get your podcast. We are there.
You'll find us. Following you everywhere.
Exactly.
So for those ones who are not watching the episode, Claire is sporting a beautiful new haircut.
Thank
fresh,
you. It's pretty much the same. It's just a lot lighter because, again, I have very, very thick hair.
Yeah.
So the guy, it's been like what? 9-10 weeks since I've had a haircut, and he was just like, oh my gosh,
we need to sort out this
really
situation.
it was actually worse than the first lockdown. This hair, I don't know why, it's just so heavy. And anyway, I won't bore everyone with my hair drama, but I feel so much better for it. But anyway, it was so busy in Central. People did seem to be wearing masks, but it was just like a holiday. And do you get really anxious when you're around a lot of people now? Like I just get
I wonder when this gonna go away, this type of feeling.
I don't know if it ever will. I think that maybe we have like a form of like PTSD or something. Maybe people, and a lot of people have been like a lot worse. So I don't want to take it on a dark.
Yeah, like oof. But
everyone is traumatized.
To be honest, I haven't been out a lot. Just I went to the supermarket once, and then to buy some other groceries like another day, and that's it. It's like I don't know. I'm not feeling like going out. Like, oh yeah, we're free, let's go out and hit the cities. I'm a bit like it's too much people acting a bit weird.
I remember we went for dinner on it was like that last night of freedom before this lockdown. We went
November,
for dinner,
right?
November. That's like flown. We went for dinner in Brixton, and you remember it was not pleasant. Like I remember there was like people. It was like New Year's Eve or something. Like people were downing like 2 pints.
Like
and,
for no reason,
Too hectic. Like everyone's going to die or something. Or like it was just a bit. And I reckon it will be like that at the minute as well.
I just can't imagine how it's going to be like Christmas Day and New Year's Eve. Because, people get crazy and drunk. Normally like in those days here is like madness.
Yeah.
So I want, people when they're too drunk, they don't know how to behave themselves.
True.
I don't know. Let's see how it goes. But I'm a bit like, I'll try to stay in as much as not as much as possible. Like Yeah, I don't want to be in contact with too many people. Yeah.
I watched something really good on TV this week.
What did you watch?
He's acting surprised. Like, oh, what did you watch?
I know what you watch. Okay.
Oh, that was a genuine reaction. Sorry. It's like, I watched The Undoing. So I don't know if anybody's seen it. I'll obviously say all of this without any spoilers because I know Enzo hasn't watched it either. Yeah. So don't feel the need to click off here. Don't click off here. Don't.
No spoilers here, okay?
There's no spoilers. But it's with Nicole Kidman and Hugh Grant and Edgar Ramirez.
Claire's personal favorite.
Woo! But anyway, it's set in New York and it's basically a mini-series and she... there's been a really, really, really grisly, horrible murder of this woman.
I didn't know
and they're kind of connected to them somehow. I don't want to say how because that would be a spoiler.
Okay.
And Edgar is the detective.
Okay.
And Nicole Kidman, she's actually a therapist. Her character's a therapist. It's quite interesting. And then her and Hugh Grant are married and like seemingly have like a good marriage, but.
Okay. Do they have a good dynamic, like Edgar and Nicole?
Edgar and Nicole. Yeah. So Edgar is very suspicious. He's a lead detective on the case with another guy. He's very suspicious of Nicole Kidman.
Okay.
And feels like she's not being completely truthful. I'll leave it there. But they have good on-screen chemistry. And Hugh Grant and Nicole Kidman have really, really good on-screen chemistry as well.
Nice.
And it was an interesting role for Hugh Grant as well. I'm not the biggest fan of Hugh Grant. He's very, like, British, like,
I know
classic.
What you mean. Yeah.
But he's a bit
I like him,
yeah. But it was very serious in this role. And it's quite good to see.
It's going to be, like, just one season kind of thing? Or do you think it's going to keep going?
I heard rumours that there was going to be a second season. But I personally don't see how there would be.
Okay.
But... Anyway, but Edgar, I mean, I know he's like Venezuela's like national treasure, right?
He is. Like he's like everybody loves him in Venezuela. It's like wow.
He's looking so peak.
Yeah, he's like the best.
And it's like, please don't embarrass me.
Like you're talking about my song. It's like
but he looks so good in this. He's like a detective. Can you imagine? He's like in a cop outfit. Yeah.
So you're like
and he's like really toned. He's got his beard. Yeah. It's like, oh, I shouldn't clap. Sorry.
I'm really happy for him. And you know, I found it very funny because I see like a lot of people are getting like into him right now, like discovering him type of thing, like who's this actor? He's so handsome. Oh, whatever. And they're creating already like rumors, like it's already around like him and Kourtney Kardashian. They have something.
No way.
They obviously is something super created by media because I think like Kourtney posts something about that and then he mentioned him or something and then he says something about her. Probably they're just friends or maybe they don't even know each other. It's just like, you know. I
don't think he would really move in those circles to Edgar. He doesn't really seem like that kind of like celebrity.
Probably not.
But he's gay, right?
In theory, he's gay.
I think he's gay.
But that's the thing because people are discovering him. They don't know. So they're creating all these stories. Like, oh yeah, Edgar and Kourtney, they're having like an affair. It's like, he's gay. But
also it's really weird because I feel like Edgar, well obviously for you as well, but I even feel like Edgar has been around for ages because I know he was like, there was a rumour that he was seeing Jessica Chastain, but I think they're like the gay best friend, kind of thing. Yeah. But I've known about him since then and also since Versace.
I don't know if it's like there's a lot of promotion around the Undoing, but I've seen like a lot of random celebrities and big celebrities as well talking about the series, like posting on Twitter or Instagram. I don't think it's like a paid promotion. It's just like they're really liking the series, or maybe
HBO
like
as well. HBO is always.
is huge.
It's also like it's only 6 episodes, but you really do want to know what happens. Like we watched it in like 2 evenings or something, and 2 or 3 evenings, because you're like, I want to know like who did it. I think also it was quite timely because they released it on Thanksgiving in America, so obviously they're all off.
That makes sense. That's why it's a really perfect timing.
But I actually do love it how everyone's like clearly gushing over Edgar on Instagram, and he's like the heartthrob.
Yeah, I'm like, yes, I know him.
Literally, but good for him because he seems like a really genuine person.
Maybe this is gonna be like he's having like a lot of amazing opportunities, but maybe this will be the one that puts him like more on Hollywood type of.
I think so.
Probably.
It was also really good because I was a bit worried when I saw, he's playing like I don't know. Like, I was like, is it going to be a bit cliche? Like, it wasn't at all. Like, it wasn't mentioned.
Because it's really like it's a really difficult kind of role to be like a cope. pop, like detective. It can be really like cringe.
Yeah, like very cliche, but no, not at all.
Good for Edgar. That was good for Undoing, and good for everybody who's dying over Edgar. I'm happy for him. It's really good for him. It's like, no, really,
the whole series, I was just like, okay, can we just get back? When's Edgar coming back? When is he coming back to interview Nicole? Where are you? But yeah,
back, it's like
But it is. I really want you to watch it because you are honestly like, who killed this woman? And then you find out.
That's a really nice.
But that being said, I think it might be time for Claire's secret topic of the week. So, are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm curious about what we're going to talk today. Because we have like this break from last week because it was your birthday kind of thing.
Yes,
and
exactly.
And now it's like we're going back to serious business here. So I wonder why you want to bring...
Well, it's nothing too heavy, really.
Good, Claire. Good. Okay? Because I almost, I was almost sick this week.
Exactly. Nothing too heavy. I guess just generally I was thinking a bit about, just that 2020 is coming to an end, so I wanted to talk to Enzo about like his experience of 2020 in a nutshell, maybe some like not lessons learned, but kind of along those lines. It got me thinking, and I kind of know Enzo's, but I thought this would be a fun thing to talk about. They released, it's small things that are the highlight of your week. Do you find that now? Yeah, but they did the like 2020 Wrapped on Spotify.
I love it. Yeah,
and it's just like just talk around that a bit, talk a bit about music. I think I've been really missing like live concerts. Like that was one of the things that I've really missed this year.
True. Yeah, definitely.
So that's kind of my topic. That's kind of my secret topic. I hope I haven't disappointed you. It's just like
and this is over now. I hope you like it.
And that's it. That's as far as we're gonna go. So let's start with what were talk us through your 2020 Wrapped.
I'm always very excited to get my Spotify Wrap. It's like a thing because you know what you listen the whole year, but it's kind of cool to see it like in perspective. Sometimes you get like things that you didn't know were like so played.
I know.
It's like, do you listen to that so much? It's crazy. But yeah, I got like for me it was no surprises because I know what I listened to like literally during the pandemic and quarantine and all of that. I was listening to like a lot of the albums that came out at the moment. They were like a really like upbeat, cool albums like Dua Lipa. That was literally I think Dua Lipa created. Well, she was my number one.
Dua Lipa was your number one.
Dua Lipa. Yeah. Because the album came out just when the pandemic hit, and it was like I remember I think like weeks after the pandemic, and there was that there was my soundtrack because it's such a like upbeat and really well produced album. Yeah. So I was like listening to this album every single day kind of thing. So yeah, Dua Lipa was my number one. I think my number two was J Balvin, which it comes not as no surprise as well because that album we listened to the album a lot together. Color is a really nice album. It's a really like I feel like the album is not groundbreaking. I think Dua Lipa's album has more like a artistic theme because it's very like retro concept bringing to the modern sound. And it's very well produced. It's not like J Balvin is not, but it's more like it's not as groundbreaking, but it's a fun album. So you listen to this album, you're gonna feel good. Like 100%. And it's like short, sweet, fun. So if you're especially those time because it came like around summertime, it was like
I feel like we bonded over that album a bit as well. Because we were listening to it so much. That is like things. Colores is like that sounds so gross when I say it.
No, it's fine, yeah.
Colores.
It's kind of like a sexy accent. Colores.
But I swear he does say that in one of the bits of the album.
He does, like, which is low-key cringe.
Isn't it? Like,
I would love J Balvin even though he's a bit low-key cringe sometimes. But
he is.
Part of his
But he owns
charm.
it,
Yeah.
But that album is, I'll let you finish first, but that was like the soundtrack of my summer, that album.
Same. I was playing that album every single day.
Early
because
summer.
It's like... It's a really a light album, and we were like going through this horrible moment in the world, like like a really peak pandemic, and you got this album like it's so bright.
You cannot be sad to J Balvin. You just cannot be. Or reggaeton in general. Like I don't think you can be sad. To
it always make you feel like
it's so upbeat.
Yeah. So that's really cool.
What was number 3? So Dua Lipa, J Balvin.
I think number 3 maybe was. I think it was Christina because Christina is always there, it's always there. So no surprise. Well, maybe I was a bit surprised because I didn't thought I listened to her that much this year, but turns out I did. So yeah, like hardcore fan, like playing the songs.
You love her.
Like no new songs, are still playing her. So yeah, I was a bit surprised by that, but that makes sense. And number 4, I think it was Bad Bunny as well, because Bad Bunny also like he released like he got to release like 3 albums this year.
He's a high achiever.
Yeah, like literally, and they were like I like Bad Bunny, like his concept. I don't love his albums like to listen to them like from finish to, the whole album all the time, because it's a bit too trap for me sometimes. So it gets a bit too repetitive, blah, blah, blah. So a bit like, But it's like key songs that are really like upbeat and cool and funny. And it reminds me to my summer as well so much. It really makes me like upbeat. I was listening to this with my housemates, and we were like doing barbecues at home. We were making all the barbecues and Bad Bunny and dancing. So I had all these good memories. So I'm not surprised. And also some of the songs, I really like them, but I'm not surprised that he's there. And number 5, I think it's Kylie Minogue. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was funny. Yeah, because she released a new album this year, like recently, like just now. That was like, it was a really good album, also dance. It's like disco kind of music. It was a really good album as well. But this year I started to listen, like early this year, like her old albums, like from the 90s. And there's like an album like really good because she has like some alternative kind of albums back in the day, less like poppy kind of thing. Not because the poppy ones are bad. It's just like more like alternative electronic albums. And I found one like I listened before. It was called like something Princess. I forgot about Princess, Dark Princess. I forgot. Now it's a really, really good album. I really recommend you to listen to it. It's very like alternative and electronic and very like it's really good album. I forgot the name of the album, Princess. Anyway, the album. So yeah, I listened to the album a lot, and then I started listening more of her previous works and whatever. So not surprised that she was there as well. So it was a very upbeat and very like bright pop, mainstream happy. You can tell I was like pushing everything that will make me feel better type of thing for my rap for my year. So so it was good. I'm not ashamed of my top. I like it. I listen to that a lot. It made me feel better. So yeah. What did you got in your top?
So number 1 was J Balvin.
Of course, yeah.
I love J Balvin, and I love reggaeton. Like I think in the last, I've always kind of liked reggaeton, but in the last few years, I think I've really like gotten into it more. And I love Colores. It's like I said, like you just can't be sad to that. And I like it for like working out as well. It kind of pumps. Perfect. It's like it's really, really good.
It's really good for working out.
And I just liked it. It's like practicing with Spanish as well. And it's just like cheery. Like,
I got practicing with Spanish.
J Balvin can teach me. Number 2 was Frank Ocean.
Frank Ocean.
Because I think at the beginning of the year I was like going through a heartbreak.
I really like it.
Really sad. I can't listen. It's that do you not think sometimes that is like heartbreak. No, really, like at the beginning I can't actually listen to those songs. I can listen to because I think like Thinking About You and In My Room.
In My Room is an amazing song.
That one, but that's less heartbreaky. That's more like, but Thinking About You, I can't listen to it now without like, it's so weird that you kind of remember like how you felt at that time.
Yeah.
So through like January, February, March, when I was really, like, really sad.
Like, cry.
So Frank Ocean, I love Frank Ocean as an artist.
He's
amazing.
He's a really good artist.
I would love to see him live. I just think he's such a good singer, really creative, like everything is good. So Frank Ocean. Number 3 was Rosalia.
Rosalia.
I love her. I probably don't go a day without listening to Rosalia.
It's nice. You're such a hardcore fan.
I know. I love that album. Again, that album you can listen to start to finish. I know you love that album.
Yeah. It's amazing. I didn't listen to this. I think because I really listened to her a lot last year.
Yeah.
Even though I feel like I listened to a lot to her this year as well, but maybe not as much as I thought. But yeah, Rosalia is always a good option.
Always. Very feel good as well. Yeah. And her voice is beautiful, I think.
Yeah.
She makes me feel creative. I think Rosalia in a way,
and when you watch her videos, it's true. It makes you feel like very, like,
she's inspirational.
They have like a cool like point of view always, which is nice.
Very creative, very artistic.
I love her.
Yeah. Number 4 was Glass Animals because they dropped a new album.
Oh, that album
that was summer. That was this summer as well.
That was summer, like peak summer.
Yeah, I really like them.
It's a really good album.
It's a good album that is really like blends well all together, and
it's always been nostalgic.
Very nostalgic. Like I can't listen to it too much now because it does make me feel a bit sad for some reason. But they think a lot about the lyrics, and some of it's a bit heavy. Yeah. But it's not every day at all.
That's true about Glass Animals. They're very like, you can tell their lyrics are very like well written, and they're like, they think about this a lot. It's not just like, let's make something that sounds good. No. Some of them they go like really deep, like kind of sad topics, but then the music is very like upbeat.
Exactly.
And cheerful.
It's interesting.
Very well produced.
I was, because the song Domestic Bliss.
Yeah.
It's basically, for people that don't know, I really recommend that you listen to that album, but it's about a domestic abuse situation. I looked it up. I haven't looked on like music forums for the longest time, like the truth behind the lyrics, but they were saying that he wrote that album based on all of his personal experiences, but it wasn't actually about his mum. It was about like a family friend or something who was in an abusive relationship. But it's really like, oh God, all the little like segues between the songs are really beautiful, I think.
It's really beautiful album. It's very like, summer. I still listen to this album. I really, really like it. It's like, it's very like, it's not an album like it just lasts. Because, that's my problem lately with albums, that they feel that they make them last for like 2 months. Very like disposable music. So
you really sound like an old person saying
that.
That's what I don't like about
in my defense. I'm saying that while J Balvin is my most second most play artist. So I feel like Glass Animals album, it's an album like you can listen to it at different times and maybe have new meanings. It's not something you can use bored of it quick because it's really well produced. The lyrics, as you say, are really like.
I have to be in a. If I'm sad, that's a dangerous album for me.
Okay.
Because it can make me feel more sad.
Could be triggers there.
Or I like that it like, sometimes when music is an interesting thing because sometimes I don't know if you have this, but you would. Like, for example, when I was sad earlier this year, I would listen to more Frank Ocean because I kind of liked listening to somebody who was also singing about heartbreak or like being sad. But then also it can go the other way. Like a lot of the pandemic, I was like, no, J Balvin, and like I need to be happy.
J
like,
Balvin, save me.
Yeah,
save me,
and then it puts you in a better headspace, I think.
It's true. Yeah, I think with music it's really interesting because I have the same thing. When I'm like sad or down, I like to listen something that it kind of match my mood. It always makes you feel like, I don't know how, it's something about music that when you connect with something in that way with music, you feel like kind of like, I don't know, like hugged. Hugged is a bit like, but very understood in a way. And it's weird because it match, like the music match your vibe and kind of like complement. It makes you feel like something's that only music can bring
it's true.
you. So that's really special. But then also I don't like to stay there for too long. So I'm like, I can listen to a few songs on an album that it's something, but then I need to switch up to something like, oof, okay.
What's like one song that will always make you happy? Like no matter, like you'll be like, oh, okay, maybe not happy, but even if you're like so down, but it will make you feel like even like 10% better kind of thing.
I think, something like, I think recent, let's say, probably like Rosalia's Malamente. But I think because I have so many like good memories attached to this, it's like a really good time, it's a really good moment. It's like everything was really nice around when the song came out. Yeah. So I think when I listen to that song, I automatically am like, yes.
It's so good.
It's automatic.
It's so good. Yeah, Malamente is a good one.
You're right.
Yeah.
Every year you have something like at least.
Well, to stick on the J Balvin thing, I mean, like, I love Negro.
I love that. That's my favorite song of the album.
I love it.
I love that we love the same song because I think I don't know why I feel this song is not as popular as the others.
I agree.
I haven't heard as many people talking about the song maybe. But then when we were speaking, I was like, yes, I love this song as well. It's such a good song. Make you feel like.
I was like, you get away.
Like, Claire has like a new
if
Apple
you see
Watch,
me looking,
and she believes she's made of like crystals. So if I touch it too much, it's like, please, your dirty poor hands don't touch my Apple Watch. Okay, I will be the same to you. I'll be like, you don't come close to my Apple Watch.
And we can probably say we're just testing something for the podcast as well to let you in on our little technique. So if you see me looking, That's why. I'm not just like, can we get this over and done with, please?
They will be like, she's so rude in this episode.
She's like, this boy won't stop talking. No, it's just that we're just testing something. So
it's cool. Like, we're getting always working on new stuff to make this like we're always adding new technological stuff. So now it's like new levels.
Yeah. So. But also to say my last thing, because I want to say number 5.
Oh, yeah.
My last one was Beyonce. And I love Beyonce, but I was surprised, like Christina as well. Like you said, like, I don't think I've listened to Beyonce that much, but then she's always in there. That's a thing, and it's probably like, okay, fair enough.
So maybe you don't realize this type of songs that you put like randomly because you like her so much, so it's like a kind of like a to-go song.
It's true. Yeah, it is true. Maybe. Like go-to.
You're like, true.
Looking down, go-to. So yeah, so that's that. Really.
I really like the Spotify thing. It's a really cool thing.
It is good. It's nostalgic in a way.
Yeah, I think especially for this year it was really nostalgic because for us we're talking this now, like you remember when the album came out, and because we were like basically locked down the whole year, so you remember even moments of the lockdown process where you were into this album, into that album, which music came at the moment. So that's really cool. So I think we have like a cool top. I mean, like J Balvin and Dua Lipa. That's a really good, and they have a song together. So
I know. I really like that song as well.
For me, it was like a grower song. Yeah, at the beginning was like, it's okay, but it kind of gets into you, and it's very chill. Also, Bad Bunny is that song. I forgot. So yeah, it's like
Bad Bunny is good in that. I need to listen to more of Bad Bunny, and I've just started more getting into like Dua Lipa. Yeah, I really like the one that she just released, Levitate, right? Or
the single. Yeah, it's just new
as a single.
Yeah. It's very catchy song. It's a really good album, I think.
Yeah, she's cool. It's feel good, although she's a bit more heavy on her lyrics, like they are slightly like...
That's cool, yeah. It's not like, ha ha ha, you can tell, which is good because I think she says something like her music is like dance crying music. It's like crying while you're dancing type of thing because her lyrics are they're a bit sometimes like they go like dark.
They really do.
But which is kind of cool. It's like has like an edge.
I like it. It's good. And also you can tell there's like a lot of thought behind it.
Yeah. That's cool. So
So those were the soundtracks to our 2020. I wonder how 20
wild. Who knows? Who knows, right? Yeah, cool.
Smooth transition.
Smooth transition to this. Enzo's secret topic of the week. So, I think my topic has nothing to do with music and not to what we were talking before, but I think it's like it's a topic very related to the times we're living in, like Christmas and shopping, all of that. I want to talk about like fast fashion and the small businesses and all of that. I think there's a lot of things to talk about this. Of course, it's not like a quick or easy topic, but I think we always are kind of discussing about this type of thing. And I came with this idea because if you don't know, I have a brand. This is like shameless plug promo, but I have like a brand that it's with my brand we work with a company that's sustainable, no chemicals, no plastic, no harm to the planet. It's very like eco-friendly, all of that. And the thing is, like, while working for my brand and on my Instagram, all of that, I started to reach more and more little brands, and I realized like in UK alone, there's like huge amount of independent brands that are all like now into sustainability, eco, green, blah blah blah. And I was thinking like I don't know what's your view on it, but do you think because I feel sometimes people are afraid to buy with smaller brands, or they just can't be bothered. It's like they feel like it's too much work. How do you reach them? Are they good? Are they not good? Like it's easier to just go to H&M or Zara and get for a really cheap price something. And people, it still feels like buying something like independent, small, blah blah blah. It's like something you need to work on. And actually, I encountered this idea because as we speak, I decided like, I would like to only buy like independent brands this Christmas. It's like, I have a brand that is like this. I should support this because it's a bit like, how you say, like fake or
like hypocritical.
Yeah, exactly. Thing, yeah. Like, I'm buying. It's like all the big brands, but I'm supporting the smaller ones, the artists and designers and illustrators. So, and I realized that to get brands like are independent and really good, it takes a lot of time. I have to do like some of them I follow already on my Instagram, but then I start to follow more people, discover more, but it takes time. I need to put really like a lot of my time to discover these amazing brands to then decide to shop with them. So I guess for the regular public or for everybody, it's gonna be like, I can just go to the corner and get to the corner store and buy a gift there. So I feel like, do you feel like there's a lot of misconceptions or like wrong ideas about small businesses and buy something to small brands? Because I tell you this because I feel sometimes people feels like smaller brands are like they have less quality, or they feel like if they don't have like a big name behind them supporting them, they don't have a level of quality, which is ironic because we know, but I feel like if it's too handmade or too small or too like, you know what I mean? People feel like, oh, maybe the quality is not good. Do you think, what type of misconceptions you have like face or believe or think it's around there, like that it may affect the way people are like?
I think that maybe people think, like you said, that you have to work a little bit harder at when you want to shop independent. And then I have to say, like, because I kind of made the decision to try and only shop on Etsy, for example, which is a website which I think is global pretty much, but you know,
I think it's more UK based.
More UK, but it's sort of, you can get independent or Europe things on there, you know, so whatever. And then I'm trying to be more eco-friendly, try to avoid Amazon because, you know, I really do use Amazon Prime a lot and I really want to stop doing that.
It's so addictive also.
But I have to say, and we'll go on to sustainable fashion and fast fashion in a bit, but I think the only thing you do have to be, this is maybe an unfair misconception to me, but I was sort of thinking, there are some items that I know I could get on Etsy, but you have to be sure to order them early enough. So for example, I ordered some Christmas cards a week ago on Etsy. They're handmade, they're not put in plastic or anything like that, but they're still not here.
Yeah.
And if that had been Amazon, they would have already been here. That's fine because I like budgeted that time. Do you know what I mean? But if that was like crunch time and you had to get somebody a present, I have to be honest and say I'm not going to rely on it. I think it's kind of the shipping thing is an issue, but maybe the problem is that we become really spoiled. Again, this is like a problem with consumerism. And why should you get whatever you order the next day, not even 24 hours after? It's really okay to wait like a week, 5 days, not even 7 days. I've been waiting for these Christmas cards, like, you know, for an item. It just involves a bit more planning. I think that's one thing. I actually think that it's like, so there's like a gift that I'm buying for my sister and her husband. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to spoil it, like what it is. But it's, you know, I could have got it on Amazon, but I chose to get it on a UK independent website. Yeah. And I feel that I feel better about that purchase. Definitely. And I feel like it's nicer. It's a lot more expensive. I'll definitely say that. And that's something that I'm willing to do because I feel like in a slightly better position this year, and like I would rather do it. But I think when I have been struggling, or for people that are struggling, you know, this is the problem with Amazon. You really can't compete because they're just, that item that I got, like it's like double the price on this website.
Oh wow, that's a lot of difference.
It really, really is. I think that's one thing. So I think with Etsy, etc., you just have to allow time. We're not even in mid-December yet, but it has involved me thinking I need to be a bit more organised.
No, that's really interesting what you say about timing and how we got so used to get things like straight away, and which is good. It's good to have this type of benefits around you, because sometimes it's super last minute, you forgot about something, you may need something, let's say. But I think most of the times, especially with gifts or like things like, I mean, Amazon, if it's not food, literally, if it's not food, you don't need anything the next day, I guess. Food or medicine, but most of the things, you know what I mean? It's like,
it's really true.
You don't need like a piece of, you don't need like a t-shirt, like a gift, a cup, a mug. You know, you don't need a lot of things the next day. That's you probably be alive and good without any problem if you wait, the type of thing. But we get so used to getting at the next day, and that's affecting. That's the problem with. I don't have. This is not like a rant against Amazon, Zara, and H&M, which there's a lot of bad things like we could take because they're not doing everything great, clearly, because there's but the thing is, like, it's good to have this type of options, but the problem is, like, then when you have like a small business, and when the small business need to operate at like a normal, let's say normal type of time or rate or waiting time, you think, oh, maybe it's too slow. And it's not slow. It's how normally a thing will wait to get to your house, because it's no magic. There's like somebody taking care, if it's a t-shirt, printing, packing, going, sending. It's going to be like a person in a truck or something, getting to the city, then going to your house. It's a long process that involves a lot of people, and you need to think like Amazon could do this because they have like a huge like machine behind them.
And this is the problem with Amazon, right? Because this is why they're a horribly unethical company, because because things should take a while, a week maybe at least, to get to you. But you've got to think, why is it getting to us so quickly? It's not normal to have it, and this is the problem. It's the problem. And this is why they're exploiting people to try and like you say, we don't want to go on a rant about Amazon. One thing I would say on the sustainable fashion thing, because this is like a topic very close to my heart, I think, because I have to say I've been quite poor about this year, but maybe because I haven't actually bought that many clothes, because we haven't really been going out and stuff. But I have still been using ASOS a lot. There's a sustainable fashion line that I like called Lucy and Yak. You remember? I have like an item from there, and they kind of do really cute, like they're a Brighton-based company, like dungarees, etc. Probably not for everyone, but it's quite, and I don't love all of their pieces, but I like it in general. The sizing is really tricky, and that's one thing I find. It's sort of like, and I went on there to look for some dungarees, as you know, because I was talking to you, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like the sizing, it's like. But then again, is that really like an inconvenience for yourself? No, it's not. It's just that I'm so used to going on ASOS, and they're like, oh, we know you're a size A, like that. This is the item that you need because it's, and then it's just easy. Whereas like with Lucy and Yak, it requires, like leg measurements, like waist, that kind of thing. I don't know off the top of my head, because they're and it's better quality, but it's just,
That's a really valid point, and it's something that it's literally like, for I think a lot of people, when they have to buy, and if you're gonna go for like a smaller brand, they're gonna be like, oh, the size and blah blah blah, because you don't know. But at the same time, it's like a really tricky thing, because at the same time, the more we support the small brands, they will have more chances to grow and have like more technology or ways to show you their like their sizes, how they fit, how they know, like improve new technology. I remember like I went last year to, it wasn't like a workshop, it was more like a talk about sustainable fashion, all of that, and they were talking about like, because like in the high fashion industry, sustainability is not like a big thing. Like it's still really difficult to create like high fashion, like like the old big brands, for them to be sustainable. It's like they're trying, of course, but they put the example of Stella McCartney. Stella McCartney is one of, they say like it is possible, because Stella McCartney, she managed to have this huge high fashion brand, really expensive, really good, being sustainable, and her goal since day one was like, I want to be a high fashion sustainable brand, and she's still working on it. And I remember when I went to this talk, they say like, of course, turning into sustainable brand doesn't mean like tomorrow you're going to be 100% green. No, it's like working towards that final goal. And like they said, like, for example, like just recently, Stella McCartney finally managed to remove all plastic in her shippings. It was something recent. And they were saying like, you may be surprised, because it's a brand, I think since the 90s, it's working. And she's a brand that is sustainable since the 90s. So it's been like 20 years or something. And now is that she managed to get rid of the plastic. So it is little things. Sometimes it takes time, but you can tell that she's always working towards improvements towards. But they say like, if she managed to do it, it is possible to the rest of the big brands to do it as well. But you have to,
brands, yes, but brands. Maybe not the small brand. That's the thing. If you say like it's just taken all this time for Stella McCartney to be completely plastic free, and that's like, she's got, they're highly successful, so it kind of makes you think, doesn't it? But then I also think it's sometimes easier when you're a smaller brand, because
You have more control, maybe.
Yeah, you have more control, and there's less kind of. I don't really know. Like, I've never really bought from like a designer brand, but maybe there's kind of like a certain aesthetic. Yeah, or like I don't know, like how you would want it packaged and stuff.
It's a tricky one.
I'm trying to think. Like, yeah.
The thing is, I feel, but also it's about intention, and it depends of what the brands stand for. Because most of brands, when they get so big, they just want the profits, which is understandable. Everybody, if it has a business, they want a profit out of it. But what's the cost of that profit? What it's costing to people, society, the environment, etc., etc.
I think I want to get to a point, because I was thinking when you were talking, one of the things that I always, and I think this is probably true for a lot of people, and maybe you, is, you know, when I get just like a basic black t-shirt, for example, I don't want to pay £25. It's that thing of, do I want it, or do I want to just go to H&M and pay £5? Yeah. And this is the constant thing of you always like weigh up. And I kind of feel a bit shit when I have to say I rarely shop in H&M now. Mainly not because I'm on like a high horse, just mainly because I don't really like their website, and we've not really been into shops. But I do shop on ASOS, and I know they're really unethical, for example. But it's that thing of, it's that balance, and I do want to get to a point where, because the thing is, it's sort of like I say, it's cheaper now, but then truly in the long run, you know, because the £5 t-shirts, they always lose their shape, the neckline goes funny, like the colour is stained or and it is actually worth it probably in the long run. It just kind of like hurts a little bit in the moment to like pay that much for something, but it, you know,
also because we're used to that, like
exactly,
we're used to. We can pay something really cheap for whatever. And
you're so right, yeah.
That's the thing, like, well, that's the problem with fast fashion at the end of the day. Like, they sell something that it meant to last 3 months or like a season. Yeah. That's this type of thinking. We create something that you will buy for this season that is really small, and it's going to be really cheap. So you know you can replace it in the next 3 months when the next season comes. And that's why it's so cheap as well. And that's a problem when you think, it happens to me all the time. If I need to buy like a black t-shirt, I will go to H&M, even Primark. It's like, I will get in Primark, you know, it's whatever. And that's the problem, because you don't, I guess if prices were, if we had more money, we wouldn't care, but that's the situation. Like, I understand, like, a lot of people, they feel like forced to buy the cheapest things because they can afford 25. If you have a family, you have kids, you can afford, if you have like a normal salary, whatever, you can afford to buy like 25 black t-shirts. It's like impossible, you know, it's very difficult. So I understand as well. But, you know, it's part of the issue because we are like in this cycle of little problems all around. Exactly. It's just like... Yeah,
it all feeds into anything else. Yeah. And I think also, like, if you're kind of in like our position, for example, it's that thing of kind of like, do you really need it? I really try and ask myself that. Do I really need it? And it's crazy. It's like a drug. It's like buying stuff. It is like, it must have like released some kind of like dopamine or something in your head. Like similarly, like when you get like a like on Instagram or something like that, it's that kind of weird like hit of like, oh, and then it's like when you feel a bit, oh, when it's gone, you know? The other thing I find really disturbing about fast fashion is that they purposefully, there's a term for this, but I can't remember what it is, but it's when they kind of create a trend that they know is not going to be long lasting, but people really want it. So for example, in like 2020, winter 2020, fringes are really in, like tassels. But that's not like a classic piece. It's going to be out of style like ASAP. But it's so, I don't know, it's so gross, but that's not without intention. That's it being planned. Like, do something that everybody will want. I need it now. I need to be on trend, and then it's going to be gone because tassels, thankfully, are not going to be like in style for that long. I mean, I don't mean like, you know, just, it's not maybe the...
If you wear that type of things, you shouldn't watch our podcast or listen to, okay?
Get away.
No, I know, it's like it's a difficult fashion thing.
I don't like it because it's like
I think it fits like to Gwen Stefani kind of thing. You have to be like
any excuse to bring Gwen Stefani up with this one.
Because she always uses this.
It's true.
For no reasons. But
I think Madonna with tassels, if you're going to make a cultural reference. But I also think like cow person kind of thing. Anyway, I don't love it, but anyway. But then that's going out now, you know, and it's sort of I don't know.
That's a big issue about trends. That's the problem. That it's something that created to last yourself a period of time, and that produce like people buying something and buying and like consume. And again, this is not against like companies or like it's not against of people thriving. That's not the problem. The thing is, like these companies that have so much money, they're huge companies, they have ways and resources and the people to make it better. That's the problem behind it. Agreed. It's not like, oh no, fuck the rich people. No, it's not about that at all. The problem is when you have so much, you have more ways to do it. If a small brand can do it, you can do it as well. If you have like a big company, they can do it like if they want, but they will lose money, they will invest in more things. But I think the thing is like, I felt since I came to London, like I moved to London. It's been like 5 years. And I'm seeing the changes already. Like in this period of time, I'm talking now because in Venezuela I've seen like there's a lot of like independent kind of thing, but it's a different story there. But here I'm seeing already the changes, how like small independent like artists blah blah are getting more and more exposure. And I think the more we support them and the more we keep the conversation, the big brands has to join. Like that's also that then we can talk about greenwashing, which is another thing.
Yeah, that's like a whole nother thing. But I think that's a really interesting thing to think about. Like H&M being the most kind of classic example of that. Yeah. I just think the thing is, you know, with like that's literally their business model is to have things going out of style quickly to make you want to buy more. Yeah. So, but then again, you know, I think it was last week Topshop went bust. Did you see that?
Wow, no.
They've gone out of business. They're going into So it's imagine. Like maybe things are changing. I don't really know the full reasons as to why, but I was really surprised by that. I'm surprised
as well, yeah.
But yeah, they've gone into like liquidation. Yeah. So maybe
I think change needs to happen. I think I don't know, like I mean the greenwashing thing is what makes me feel, it's not like I feel positive about the greenwashing, but what it makes me feel is they know things are changing and they know like now like thanks to social media a lot of things are moving in different directions thanks to the opinion of people. Like it's happening like movements, social movements or whatever, they're starting from social media, and social media is like a huge movement now of being ecological, not let's take care of the planet, the future, blah blah blah. So I think the brands, they need to catch up slowly, and even though they're catching up in a fake way, which is a problem in greenwashing, I think like this is a first step for them in the future. They have to like prove and get real ecological about things.
I actually disagree with you. I think it's actually, I know you're not saying that greenwashing is good. I know you're saying it's bad, and it's just really toxic because it gives you that impression that everything's fine. It's like putting plaster over everything. So it makes you morally feel good about shopping at, take H&M for example, and it makes them think it's basically for them to like say to their chair people or whatever, their investors, don't worry about the environment, don't worry about that because we are doing something good. Oh look, we've got this like bamboo line, and that is
always have a bamboo line.
It is always like that bamboo, like made from like eco, like cotton, whatever. But it's just like a little like, it actually distracts from the main problem that the rest of their company is hideously unethical. So I actually don't think it's a good step forward in any way. I think what they're doing is being really sneaky by saying they're recognizing a trend, and caring for the environment is a trend. Actually, it's a trendy thing. If you're like a marketing person at H&M, like let's see what's trending on social media. All these young people, all they really care about, but then you know they're not actually doing anything to help the environment at all. If they really cared, they would change things epically.
Yeah, you're right as well. Which is an issue because that's a problem as a society, because we just believe whatever is in front of us. And the good thing would be like, if you're saying that as a society, we should be like aware enough to actually research. Like, what is these people doing it? But most of people, again, because we like things quick and we don't like to maybe confront realities that will get out of our comfort zone. So maybe if somebody's like, why they're ecological? Let me research about it. That will take time. That will take days. Maybe they will realize that, oh no, my favorite dress is from H&M. They're not ecological. What I want to do now, blah, blah, blah. So some people, they want to just be blind about it. Like, they just avoid it. And that's the issue as well. And
it's true.
You're right. Like, because they're faking something they're not doing. But I wonder if we keep the conversation and we keep having this type of conversation, and the small business, they keep pushing it, at one point the consumers, they will get smarter and smarter, more like what's the word,
like
picky,
aware,
no, like they will ask for more, like, you know. And at one point, I guess, if they don't go to bankrupt like it happened to Topshop, if they want to thrive, at one point, I hope and I guess they really want to go all the way sustainable to survive, because I think anybody, like, I think the new generation, if they're more into sustainability and save the world or whatever, they will, if they buy something, they will be taking care, they will be very careful when they buy something. So maybe they won't go to H&M, they will support, like, oh, let me go to this artsy brand.
You hope so. Yeah.
You hope so. So I hope that's going to be the switch kind of thing that will happen, and will help people to, or brands that actually will push to do more, which I think it will happen like sooner than later, to be honest.
I agree. I think for me, like, the clincher is always ease, because it's wrong, because this is how, like, we've got used to being. But, like, I don't want to spend loads of time researching an item of clothing. I just want to go on the website and pick the item of clothing and buy it. It's not even about the time that it takes to get it. Christmas presents, different situation. Items of clothing, rarely do I want it like now. I can wait like a week for it. It's just like the ease and the timing, and like, but that's really bad, and that's something that I really want to aim to change. Like, it's bad. Like, I love that, like, bloody, like, Premier delivery thing on ASOS. Like, it gives you such a boost.
Like, you get it the next day, like, ooh, it's here.
Every year I want to be better at, like, I always think, because, you know, the environment is so important to both of us, I would say, but I'm not the best with fashion. I'd really try to buy less new, and, like, I do like charity shop shopping and stuff like that, but I want to be, I want to find a way to be a bit better.
I feel in a few years it's going to be easier. The thing is, like, now if you want something that it's not a t-shirt, because a t-shirt, a jumper, it's still easy to get, sustainable and green and all of that. You can go, like, as you bought in my brand, it's easy to get that. But when you're talking about dresses and, like, lingeries, things are more complicated. Those brands, they have to be more expensive, so they could be out of your budget, maybe, because our brands are really more specific. They require more design. It's more difficult to get specific type of fabrics being totally ecological. So because everything is still so small and it's growing, of course it has to be expensive. But I hope here in maybe 5 years it's gonna be so normal. They will be able to have prices as low as a big brand, or at least closer.
For sure.
Because it's already happening, but it will take time.
The demand is definitely going up, but it does take a long time to change when you've got such giants controlling the industry, and other industries take a bit of time to catch up, and that's just how it is. Look at how veganism has exploded. Never thought that would happen. True. Look at how, you know, it's real, and this is how everywhere. The market and economy goes. Like, the more demand, the more, like, supply, etc. And that's how it is. So
so hopefully, I hope after the pandemic, like, things will. I hope people will start thinking more about their environment a bit more. I'm still, you know, I have no hopes in humanity sometimes. That's always sometimes, like, humanity, we deserve everything happen to us because we're a mess. But I hope, like, slowly all those things go together hand to hand, and people will be taking more care about all these things and be, like, more aware on how to do their change.
I think you can only hope. You can literally only hope, because of what else, and do your part. Make a sustainable fashion brand. Talk about this on my YouTube channel. You know, you do your best. You do your best.
You try. Also, like, we have a privilege also, so we
highly privileged.
We can do those things out of people.
And we have the time to sit around filming this magical podcast, talking about this. That is a privilege in itself. That I think we're very grateful for. So well,
I think we hope, like, if you had a chance to buy something, support an artist, independent one.
Definitely.
If you use Instagram, it's really easy. I mean, you think it's difficult because it's not in front of you, but if you even, like, you search for a hashtag like shop small, or if you UK, shop small UK, independent business UK, whatever, just look for a hashtag. You're gonna find so many good brands, and they're, like, amazing designs, really good quality. They're producing on a smaller scale, so the quality is, you know, they're really careful about everything because of that.
It's really good.
You know,
I've been loving it. I've been loving it on Etsy, and you can put, for Etsy, for example, you know, shop local, so you can actually see where in the UK, because that's another thing, like shipping and postage, a whole nother thing. And so pretty much bought all my Christmas presents so far, like in the UK. So I'm really proud of myself.
That's a really good step.
Right?
You don't even think about it, but that's a really good step already.
Yeah, and that was not the case last Christmas, you know.
Sure.
And don't get me wrong, there's going to be some items that will be, unfortunately, Amazon, but like that is just how it is.
It's about trying, for sure.
Yeah, and it's so nice. And there's so many cute things on like Instagram and Etsy, for example. So yeah, definitely do check it out if you want to and
hopefully
have the means.
You have like a more sustainable, green, ecological.
Exactly. Maybe next Christmas we will have our own merch.
And
then you can buy.
It's gonna be like a t-shirt with our faces like from here to here.
Be like.
And we'll have like a cat with a face here.
Maybe it'll be like our mugs, like, and they'll be doing that in the t-shirt, and then you can get two, and then they're like put together when you put the t-shirts together. And it's like, please.
I feel it's gonna be a hit. A lot of people will create a new trend.
Exactly. Who knows what the future holds? But yes.
So yeah, guys.
I think that's everything.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy this episode. It was a really interesting episode.
It really was. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching.
Yeah.
And as always, please remember to like, subscribe, comment, and keep us up on the algorithm.
Now you can also follow us in Spotify, Anchor. If you go to our Instagram, you can find all the links to follow us everywhere you would like to.
If you prefer not to see these stunning faces, if you just want to hear
this is just for free, guys, so you can just enjoy it, you know?
So yeah, if you prefer to listen on audio, please do check that out when you're on your walk, or maybe, you know, cooking or something like that. But
and please interact with us as much as you want and can on YouTube and Instagram. We'd like to know what you think about it.
And if there's any topics that maybe you want to like hear about or anything like that, please do leave us a comment. We'd love to know what you kind of want going forward.
Yes.
But that's it. But again, thank you so much for watching.
Much, and see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.